The simple secret to changing your life. Starting right now. Full audiobook. The fact that you are here absorbing these words means you are among the chosen few who are ready to discover the simple secret that has been hidden in plain sight for centuries. You see, most people spend their entire lives searching for the key to transformation, never realizing that they already possess everything they need within themselves. They look outside for answers, seeking validation from others, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances, or the perfect opportunity. But you have been called to something different. You have been called to understand that the power to change your life completely exists right here, right now, in this present moment. What if I told you that every single thing you have ever wanted, every dream you have ever held, every vision of the life you desire to live, is not only possible, but inevitable once you understand this simple secret? What if I told you that the only thing standing between you and the life of your dreams is not your circumstances, not your past, not your education, not your background, but simply your understanding of how reality truly works? For thousands of years, ancient civilizations understood something that modern society has forgotten. They knew that consciousness is not a byproduct of the brain, but rather the fundamental fabric from which all reality is woven. They understood that thoughts are not random electrical impulses firing in your skull, but powerful frequencies that interact directly with the quantum field of infinite possibilities that surrounds us every moment of every day. The ancient mystics, the shamans, the spiritual masters throughout history, they all knew this one simple truth that every single person who experiences lasting transformation discovers eventually. They knew that reality is not fixed, that your circumstances are not permanent, and that the life you are living right now is nothing more than a reflection of your internal state of consciousness projected outward into the physical world. You have been conditioned to believe that you are powerless, that you are at the mercy of external circumstances, that you must work hard and struggle to achieve anything meaningful in life. But this conditioning is not your truth. This conditioning is not who you really are. This conditioning is simply a program that was installed in your consciousness without your permission. And today, in this moment, you're going to learn how to delete that program forever. The simple secret I am about to share with you has been used by every single person throughout history who has achieved extraordinary results. It has been used by inventors, artists, leaders, mystics, and visionaries. It has been used by people who started with nothing and created empires. It has been used by people who were told they would never amount to anything and went on to change the world. But here is what makes this secret so powerful and yet so simple. It requires no special skills, no special education, no special circumstances, and no special resources. The only thing it requires is your willingness to understand and apply it consistently. The only thing it requires is your commitment to seeing yourself and your life in a completely new way. Right now, as you listen to these words, your brain is beginning to create new neural pathways. Your consciousness is beginning to expand beyond the limitations that have been holding you back. You are beginning to remember who you really are beneath all the layers of conditioning, beneath all the stories you have been telling yourself about what is possible for your life. You see, the truth is that you are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of circumstances. You are not limited by your past. You are empowered by your understanding of how to consciously direct your future. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You can choose to remain unconscious, allowing your default programming to run your life automatically, reacting to circumstances, feeling like life is happening to you. Or you can choose to become conscious, to take deliberate control of your thoughts, your emotions, your vibration, and therefore your reality. The people who live extraordinary lives, the people who seem to have everything go their way, the people who appear to be lucky or blessed or naturally gifted, they are not different from you in any fundamental way. They have simply learned to use their consciousness deliberately rather than accidentally. They have learned to align their thoughts, emotions, and actions with their desired outcomes rather than with their current circumstances. This is the first part of the simple secret, understanding that you are the conscious creator of your experience. Not someday when you are ready, not when you have learned enough, or grown enough, or healed enough, but right now, exactly as you are, with exactly the knowledge and resources you currently possess. Your current reality is not a reflection of your potential. Your current reality is simply a reflection of your past thinking patterns, your past emotional patterns, and your past belief systems. But the moment you begin to think differently, to feel differently, and to believe differently, your reality begins to shift immediately. The quantum field that surrounds you is constantly responding to your consciousness. It is constantly organizing circumstances, opportunities, people, and resources to match the frequency you are broadcasting through your thoughts and emotions. When you understand this, when you really grasp the implications of this truth, everything changes. You realize that you're not trying to get the universe to give you what you want. You are simply learning to align yourself with what you want so completely that the universe has no choice but to deliver it to you. You realize that manifestation is not about force or struggle or convincing anyone of anything. Manifestation is about becoming so clear about who you are and what you want that your very presence in the world magnetizes your desires to you effortlessly. But this requires a fundamental shift in how you see yourself and your relationship to reality. It requires you to stop seeing yourself as separate from what you want and start seeing yourself as already connected to it. It requires you to stop focusing on what you lack and start focusing on what you are in the process of becoming. Right now, in this moment, as you absorb this understanding, you are beginning to activate dormant potentials within your consciousness. You are beginning to remember capabilities that have always been yours, but that you were taught to forget. You are beginning to access levels of awareness that most people never experience because they never give themselves permission to explore beyond the boundaries of conventional thinking. The simple secret is not complex, but it is profound. The simple secret is not difficult to understand, but it requires courage to implement. The simple secret is not about doing more, but about being more. It is about stepping into the fullness of who you really are and allowing that authentic self to express itself through your choices, your actions, and your way of being in the world. Every master teacher throughout history has pointed to this same truth in different words, using different metaphors, speaking to different cultures and different times. But the core message has always been the same. You have within you right now everything you need to create the life you truly desire. You have within you right now the power to transform any circumstance, overcome any obstacle, and manifest any dream. The question is not whether you have this power. The question is whether you are willing to claim it, own it, and use it consciously and deliberately, starting right now, in this moment. The question is whether you are ready to stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the conscious creator of your experience. As you continue on this journey with me, as you allow these words to penetrate not just your mind, but your heart and your soul, you will discover that transformation is not a destination you arrive at someday in the future. Transformation is a way of being that you can choose right now, regardless of your current circumstances, regardless of your past, regardless of what anyone else thinks is possible for your life. You are about to learn the specific steps, the exact process, the precise methodology for implementing this simple secret in every area of your life. You are about to discover how to reprogram your subconscious mind, how to raise your vibration, how to align your thoughts and emotions with your desires, and how to take inspired action that leads to inevitable success. But before we go deeper into the practical application, I want you to take a moment right now to acknowledge something profound that is happening within you. I want you to acknowledge that simply by being here, Simply by opening your mind to these possibilities, you have already begun the process of transformation. The old version of you, the version that accepted limitations as permanent, the version that believed change was difficult or impossible, that version is already beginning to dissolve. In its place, a new version of you is emerging. A version that knows its own power, that trusts its own capabilities, that understands its connection to infinite possibilities. This new version of you is not something you need to become. This new version of you is who you have always been underneath all the conditioning and programming. This new version of you is your authentic self finally being given permission to emerge and express itself fully in the world. Now that you have awakened to the truth of your creative power, it is time to understand the precise mechanics of how this power operates. What you are about to learn has been hidden from mainstream education, suppressed by those who benefit from keeping humanity in a state of unconscious limitation. But you are ready for this knowledge now. You are ready to understand the true science of consciousness and how it shapes every aspect of your reality. Modern quantum physics has finally caught up with what ancient mystics have known for millennia. Consciousness is the fundamental building block of reality. Every particle, every wave, every field of energy that makes up the physical universe exists in a state of infinite potential until it is observed by consciousness. The act of observation itself collapses the wave function and determines which possibility becomes your experienced reality. This is not metaphysical speculation. This is hard science. The double-slit experiment, conducted thousands of times by physicists around the world, proves beyond any doubt that the presence of conscious observation fundamentally alters the behavior of matter at the quantum level. When no one is looking, particles behave like waves of probability. The moment consciousness observes them, they instantly become definite particles with specific locations and properties. But here is where it gets truly extraordinary. Your brain contains approximately 100 billion neurons, each capable of making thousands of connections with other neurons. The number of possible neural configurations in your brain exceeds the number of atoms in the known universe. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold creates specific patterns of neural activity that generate measurable electromagnetic fields extending beyond your physical body. These electromagnetic fields interact directly with the quantum field of infinite possibilities that surrounds you at every moment. Your thoughts are not confined to your skull. Your emotions are not contained within your body. Your consciousness extends far beyond your physical form, constantly broadcasting information into the field and receiving information back from it. The ancient traditions understood this through direct experience. They called it different names in different cultures: the Akashic records, the morphic field, the collective unconscious, the unified field. Modern science calls it the quantum field or the zero-point field. But regardless of the terminology, they are all describing the same phenomenon, a field of pure potentiality that responds instantly to conscious intention. Every desire you have ever had, every dream you have ever envisioned already exists as a potential reality within this field. It exists not as something you might create someday, but as something that is already complete, already perfect, already waiting for you to align yourself with it sufficiently to allow it to manifest in your physical experience. This is why affirmations alone do not work for most people. This is why positive thinking by itself is insufficient. This is why willpower and determination, while admirable qualities, often lead to frustration and disappointment. These approaches only engage the conscious mind, which represents less than 5% of your total mental activity. The real power lies in your subconscious mind, which processes over 11 million bits of information per second, while your conscious mind can only handle about 40 bits per second. Your subconscious mind is the interface between your consciousness and the quantum field. It is the operating system that runs 95% of your life automatically based on the programs that were installed during your formative years. These programs were not installed by you consciously. They were installed by well-meaning parents, teachers, and society members who themselves were operating from their own unconscious programming. They taught you what they had been taught, that life is hard, that you have to struggle to survive, that good things come to those who wait, that money is the root of all evil, that you are not worthy of extraordinary success, that you should be realistic about your expectations. But these are not universal truths. These are simply beliefs, and beliefs are nothing more than thoughts that you have thought repeatedly until they became automatic. Every belief you hold was once a new thought that was repeated enough times to become accepted as truth by your subconscious mind. And anything that was programmed can be reprogrammed. The masters throughout history understood this. They knew that transformation was not about changing external circumstances first and hoping that would change how they felt. They knew that transformation was about changing their internal state first, which would then automatically change their external circumstances to match their new internal reality. This is the second part of the simple secret. Understanding that your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is imagined, between what is happening now and what you are vividly visualizing. When you imagine something with sufficient detail, emotion, and repetition, your subconscious mind accepts it as real and begins to reorganize your entire life to make it true. This is not wishful thinking. This is not fantasy. This is the precise mechanism by which every significant achievement in human history has been accomplished. Every inventor first saw their invention in their mind before it existed in the physical world. Every artist first envisioned their masterpiece before they created it. Every leader first imagined the change they wanted to see before they brought it into reality. But most people use this incredible power unconsciously and accidentally. They spend their days imagining what they do not want rather than what they do want. They replay past failures rather than previewing future successes. They focus on problems rather than solutions, on lack rather than abundance, on fear rather than love. Your imagination is not entertainment. Your imagination is the workshop where you design your future. Every time you imagine something, you are sending instructions to your subconscious mind about what kind of reality you want to experience. Every time you feel emotion while imagining, you're adding power to those instructions. The quantum field responds not to your words, but to your vibration. Your vibration is determined by your dominant thoughts and emotions. When your thoughts and emotions are aligned with what you want, rather than what you currently have, you begin to broadcast a new frequency into the field. The field then responds by reorganizing circumstances, opportunities, and encounters to match your new frequency. This is why people who expect good things to happen tend to experience more good things. This is why people who believe they are lucky tend to have more fortunate experiences. This is why people who feel wealthy tend to attract more wealth. It is not because they are special or chosen or different from you in any fundamental way. It is because they have learned to align their internal state with their desired external reality. You can learn to do this deliberately. You can learn to control your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. You can learn to choose your emotions instead of being chosen by them. You can learn to direct your attention instead of allowing it to be pulled in random directions by external circumstances. The process is actually quite simple, though it requires consistency and practice. You must begin each day by consciously designing your internal state rather than allowing it to be determined by external conditions. You must learn to think from your desired future rather than from your current circumstances. You must practice feeling the emotions of your fulfilled desires rather than the emotions of your current limitations. When you wake up in the morning, instead of immediately checking your phone or thinking about your problems, or worrying about your day, you take time to connect with the version of yourself who already has everything you want. You see through their eyes, you feel through their heart, you think through their mind. You become so familiar with this future self that being them feels more natural than being your current self. This is not pretending. This is not denial of your current reality. This is consciously choosing which reality you give your attention and energy to. Your current reality is the result of your past thinking. Your future reality is being created by your present thinking. When you change your present thinking, you automatically change your future reality. The key is consistency and intensity. The more consistently you practice this new way of being, the faster your external reality will shift to match your internal reality. The more intensely you feel the emotions of your desired future, the more powerfully you magnetize those experiences to you. But you must also understand that doubt and fear will arise. Your current identity, your ego, your familiar sense of self will resist this change because change represents death to the old you. Your subconscious mind will try to pull you back to familiar patterns because familiarity feels safe, even when it is limiting. This resistance is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. This resistance is a sign that you are doing something right. This resistance means you are breaking through the boundaries of your old identity and expanding into a new level of possibility. Every master has faced this resistance and moved through it by staying committed to their vision, regardless of what their current circumstances suggested was possible. The universe is constantly testing your commitment to your new reality. It will present you with situations that tempt you to react from your old patterns, to think from your old limitations, to feel from your old identity. But each time you choose to respond from your new identity instead of reacting from your old patterns, you strengthen your new neural pathways and weaken your old ones. Over time, what once required tremendous effort becomes effortless. What once felt foreign becomes natural. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. This is how all lasting transformation occurs, through the gradual but consistent replacement of old patterns with new ones until the new patterns become automatic. You are not trying to convince yourself that you already have what you want. You are simply practicing the thoughts, emotions, and behaviors of the person who already has what you want until those thoughts, emotions, and behaviors become your natural way of being. When they become natural, the external manifestation becomes automatic. This is the profound difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who remain stuck in limitation. Those who achieve their dreams have learned to be their future self now, regardless of current circumstances. Those who remain stuck continue to be their past self now, regardless of their potential. The choice is always yours. In every moment, you can choose to think from limitation or possibility, to feel from fear or love, to act from your past or your future. The more consistently you choose possibility, love, and your future, the more your external world reorganizes itself to support and reflect these choices. You now understand the science behind consciousness and its power to shape reality. But knowledge without application remains merely intellectual understanding. The time has come for you to learn the precise protocols that will allow you to master your frequency and deliberately design your reality. What you are about to discover are the exact same techniques used by ancient mystery schools, modern quantum healers, and successful manifestors throughout history. Your frequency is your signature in the quantum field. Every thought carries a specific frequency, every emotion vibrates at a particular rate, and every belief system broadcasts a unique energetic pattern. The combination of your dominant thoughts, emotions, and beliefs creates your personal frequency signature, which the universe matches with corresponding experiences, opportunities, and circumstances. Most people live their entire lives at the mercy of random frequency fluctuations. They allow external circumstances to determine their internal state, which means they are constantly broadcasting mixed signals into the quantum field. One moment they feel hopeful and excited about their future. The next moment they feel worried and doubtful about their current situation. This inconsistent frequency pattern creates inconsistent results in their external reality. But you are about to learn how to become the master of your frequency rather than its victim. You are about to discover how to maintain a consistent, elevated frequency regardless of external circumstances. You are about to understand how to consciously tune yourself to the exact frequency of your desired reality, so that the universe has no choice but to deliver that reality to you. The first protocol is what I call quantum meditation. This is not ordinary meditation where you simply try to quiet your mind or relax your body. This is a specific technique designed to align your consciousness with the frequency of infinite possibilities and program your subconscious mind with your desired reality. Find a quiet space where you will not be disturbed for the next 20 to 30 minutes. Sit comfortably with your spine straight, allowing your body to relax completely while maintaining alertness in your consciousness. Close your eyes and begin to breathe slowly and deeply, allowing each exhale to release any tension or stress from your body and mind. As your body relaxes and your mind becomes still, begin to imagine that you are surrounded by a field of pure, golden light. This light represents the quantum field of infinite possibilities. Feel this light penetrating every cell of your body, filling you with peace, love, and unlimited potential. Know that within this field, every possible version of your life exists simultaneously, including the exact life you desire to live. Now, begin to shift your attention away from your current identity and circumstances. Instead of thinking about who you have been or what you currently have, begin to focus on who you are becoming and what you are in the process of manifesting. See yourself living your desired life in vivid detail. But do not just visualize it as something external that you are watching. Experience it from the inside out. Step into this future version of yourself completely. See through their eyes, hear through their ears, feel through their heart. Notice how they move through the world, how they think, how they speak, how they carry themselves. Pay attention to their level of confidence, their sense of purpose, their emotional state. This is not fantasy. This is you connecting with a version of yourself that already exists within the quantum field. Spend at least 15 minutes fully immersed in this experience. Feel the emotions of having already achieved everything you desire. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the sense of fulfillment and accomplishment. Feel the love, the peace, the excitement of living your dream life. These emotions are not just pleasant feelings. These emotions are powerful frequencies that communicate directly with the quantum field. The more real you can make this experience feel, the more powerfully you are programming your subconscious mind and broadcasting your intentions into the universe. Your subconscious mind is recording every detail of this experience as if it were actually happening, and it will begin to reorganize your life to make this vision your reality. End each quantum meditation session by expressing deep gratitude for the privilege of conscious creation and for the inevitable manifestation of your desires. Feel genuine appreciation for the intelligence of the universe that is constantly conspiring to support your highest good. This gratitude completes the energetic circuit and activates the manifestation process. The second protocol is frequency anchoring. Throughout your day, you will encounter situations that could potentially lower your frequency and pull you back into old patterns of thinking and feeling. Frequency anchoring allows you to maintain your elevated state, regardless of external circumstances. Choose a simple physical gesture that you can perform discreetly anywhere, such as touching your heart, pressing your thumb and index finger together, or taking 3 deep breaths. During your quantum meditation, when you are fully immersed in the experience of your desired reality and feeling the emotions of fulfillment, perform this gesture while saying a specific phrase to yourself, such as, "I am aligned," or "I am abundant," or "I am love." Repeat this process every time you meditate, always using the same gesture and the same phrase when you are in your peak state. Over time, this creates a powerful neurological connection between the gesture, the phrase, and the elevated emotional state. Eventually, simply performing the gesture and saying the phrase will instantly trigger the same elevated state, regardless of your external circumstances. Use this anchor throughout your day whenever you notice your frequency dropping. If you catch yourself worrying, doubting, or focusing on lack, immediately perform your anchor gesture and speak your phrase. This will instantly reconnect you with your desired frequency and prevent you from broadcasting limiting patterns into the quantum field. The third protocol is reality revision. Most people spend their mental energy reliving past failures, mistakes, and disappointments. Every time you recall a negative memory with emotional intensity, you are essentially re-experiencing that event and reinforcing its neural pathways in your brain. This keeps you stuck in the patterns of the past and prevents you from creating something new. Reality revision allows you to consciously rewrite your past experiences in a way that serves your current growth and future manifestations. This is not about denying what happened or lying to yourself about your experiences. This is about choosing which aspects of your past you give your attention and energy to, and consciously reshaping your interpretation of events to support your empowerment rather than your limitation. Choose a specific past experience that still triggers negative emotions when you think about it. Instead of remembering how it actually happened, imagine how you wish it had happened. See yourself responding with wisdom, confidence, and power. See the situation resolving in a way that honors your worth and supports your growth. Feel the emotions of this revised experience as if it were the true memory. Practice this revision repeatedly until the new version feels more real and familiar than the original memory. Your subconscious mind will gradually accept the revised version as the truth, which will free you from the limiting patterns associated with the original experience and open new possibilities for your future. The fourth protocol is energetic hygiene. Just as you maintain physical hygiene by regularly cleansing your body, you must maintain energetic hygiene by regularly cleansing your consciousness of limiting beliefs, negative emotions, and toxic thought patterns. Before sleep each night, perform a complete energetic cleansing ritual. Visualize yourself standing under a waterfall of pure white light that washes away any negative energy you may have absorbed during the day. See this light dissolving any thoughts of lack, any feelings of fear, any beliefs in limitation. Feel yourself becoming completely clean, clear, and aligned with your highest potential. Then, fill yourself with golden light representing love, abundance, and infinite possibilities. Set clear intentions for your sleep, asking your subconscious mind to process and integrate the new patterns you have been practicing while releasing old patterns that no longer serve you. Your sleep becomes a time of profound transformation and programming rather than just physical rest. The fifth protocol is inspired action alignment. Manifestation is not just about thinking and feeling differently. It also requires taking action that is aligned with your desired reality. But this is not ordinary action based on force, struggle, or desperation. This is inspired action that flows naturally from your elevated state of consciousness. When you are consistently maintaining your desired frequency through quantum meditation and frequency anchoring, you will begin to receive intuitive guidance about specific actions to take. These actions will feel exciting, effortless, and aligned with your vision. They may not always make logical sense from your current perspective, but they will feel right at a deeper level. Trust this guidance completely and act on it immediately when it arises. The universe communicates with you through your intuition, and inspired action is how you cooperate with the universe to manifest your desires. The more quickly and decisively you act on genuine inspiration, the more guidance you will receive and the faster your manifestations will occur. The sixth protocol is Gratitude amplification. Gratitude is one of the highest frequencies you can embody, and it acts as a powerful magnet for positive experiences. But most people practice gratitude only for things they already have, which keeps them focused on their current reality rather than opening them to greater possibilities. Practice gratitude for your desired manifestations as if they have already occurred. Thank the universe for the perfect health you are experiencing, for the abundant wealth that flows to you easily, for the loving relationships that surround you, for the meaningful work that fulfills you completely. Feel genuine appreciation for these experiences, even though they may not yet be visible in your physical reality. This advanced form of gratitude aligns you with the frequency of receiving and signals to the universe that you are ready to accept greater blessings into your life. It also programs your subconscious mind to expect good things, which causes you to notice and attract more positive opportunities. These 6 protocols, when practiced consistently and with genuine commitment, will completely transform your frequency and, therefore, your reality. You do not need to practice all 6 protocols every day, but you should engage with at least 3 of them daily to maintain your momentum and continue raising your vibration. Remember that mastery is not about perfection. It is about consistency and persistence. There will be days when you forget to practice, moments when you slip back into old patterns, times when you doubt the process or question whether it is working. This is completely normal and expected. What matters is that you continue to return to these practices, that you keep choosing your desired frequency over your default patterns, that you remain committed to your transformation regardless of temporary setbacks. Every time you practice these protocols, you are strengthening new neural pathways and weakening old ones. Every time you choose your desired frequency over your current circumstances, you are becoming more of who you truly are. Every time you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your vision, you are accelerating the manifestation process. The universe is not testing your worthiness. The universe is simply responding to your frequency. When you master your frequency through consistent practice of these protocols, you master your reality. When you become the person who naturally thinks, feels, and acts from abundance, love, and possibility, abundance, love, and possibility become your natural experience. You have been practicing the frequency mastery protocols, and by now, you have likely begun to notice subtle shifts in your consciousness and your external reality. But you have also probably encountered something that every transformational journey must face: resistance. This resistance may appear as doubt, fear, confusion, or even temporary setbacks in your life. You may find yourself questioning whether this process really works, whether you are doing it correctly, or whether you are truly capable of creating the life you desire. Let me assure you that this resistance is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of success. It means you are approaching the most critical phase of your transformation, the death of your old identity and the birth of your new self. This is the phase that separates those who achieve lasting transformation from those who return to their familiar patterns. This is where you discover what you are truly made of. Every caterpillar must enter the darkness of the cocoon before it can emerge as a butterfly. Every seed must die to its original form before it can become a tree. Every soul that chooses to evolve must release attachment to who they have been in order to become who they are meant to be. You are in your cocoon now, and what feels like chaos and confusion is actually the intelligent process of reorganization taking place at the deepest levels of your being. Your current identity, the version of yourself that you have been up until this moment, was formed through years of conditioning, experiences, beliefs, and patterns. This identity has served a purpose, and it has protected you in various ways, but it was never meant to be permanent. It was meant to be a stepping stone to something greater, something more authentic, something more aligned with your true essence and unlimited potential. But your current identity does not want to die. It will fight for its survival using every tool at its disposal. It will generate doubt by reminding you of past failures. It will create fear by imagining all the ways your new path could go wrong. It will manufacture confusion by overwhelming you with contradictory thoughts and emotions. It will even orchestrate external circumstances that seem to confirm your old beliefs about limitation and struggle. This is what I call the identity death spiral, and it is the most dangerous phase of the transformation process. Many people encounter this phase and interpret it as evidence that the process is not working, that they are not meant for greatness, that they should return to their safe, familiar, limited existence. But those who understand what is really happening can navigate this phase with grace and emerge stronger, clearer, and more powerful than ever before. The first thing you must understand is that your old identity is not you. It is simply a collection of thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and behaviors that you have identified with for so long that you forgot they were chosen rather than inherent. You are not your thoughts. You are the consciousness that observes your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the awareness that experiences your emotions. You are not your past. You are the creative force that is designing your future. When your old identity begins to dissolve, you may experience what feels like a loss of self. You may not know who you are anymore, what you want, or what your purpose is. This can be deeply unsettling because humans have a fundamental need for identity and certainty. But this dissolution is not a loss. It is a liberation. You are being freed from the prison of limited self-concept so that you can discover who you really are beneath all the layers of conditioning. During this phase, you must learn to be comfortable with not knowing. You must learn to trust the process even when you cannot see where it is leading. You must learn to surrender control of the how and when, while maintaining clear intention about the what and why. This requires a level of faith that most people have never developed because they have never been asked to release everything they thought they knew about themselves. The second thing you must understand is that resistance is not your enemy. Resistance is actually your teacher, showing you exactly where your old patterns are trying to maintain their grip on your consciousness. Every fear that arises is showing you a belief that needs to be released. Every doubt that surfaces is revealing an attachment that needs to be surrendered. Every moment of confusion is pointing you toward a clarity that wants to emerge. Instead of fighting against resistance, learn to work with it. When you feel fear, ask yourself what you would do if fear were not a factor. When you experience doubt, inquire into what you would believe if doubt were not possible. When you encounter confusion, sit quietly and listen for the clarity that exists beneath the mental noise. The key is to not make resistance wrong or try to eliminate it forcefully. The key is to acknowledge it, understand its message, and then consciously choose to move forward anyway. Every time you feel fear and take aligned action despite the fear, you weaken the power of fear over your life. Every time you experience doubt and maintain your commitment to your vision despite the doubt, you strengthen your faith in your own creative power. This is how you transform resistance from an obstacle into an ally. You use each moment of resistance as an opportunity to choose your new identity over your old patterns. You use each challenge as a chance to demonstrate to yourself and the universe that you are serious about your transformation. You use each setback as a setup for an even greater comeback. The third thing you must understand is that your environment will test your commitment to your new identity. The people in your life who have known you as your old self may unconsciously try to pull you back into familiar patterns. They may criticize your new interests, question your new beliefs, or express concern about the changes they see in you. This is not because they want to harm you, but because your transformation challenges their own comfort zones and limitations. When you begin to vibrate at a higher frequency, you will naturally outgrow some relationships while attracting new ones that are aligned with your evolving consciousness. This can be painful, especially if these are relationships you have valued for many years. But you must remember that true love supports growth, even when that growth leads in unexpected directions. You cannot drag others with you into your new reality, and you cannot remain stuck in old patterns to make others comfortable. You must love them enough to let them choose their own path while you choose yours. You must trust that your transformation gives them permission to transform as well, even if they are not ready to accept that permission immediately. Some relationships will evolve and deepen as both parties grow together. Others will naturally fade as you no longer have common ground to share. New relationships will appear that reflect your new level of consciousness and support your continued evolution. This is all part of the natural process of alignment that occurs when you commit to living authentically. The fourth thing you must understand is that your external circumstances may appear to get worse before they get better. This is because your old frequency is still attracting experiences that match your previous vibration, while your new frequency has not yet had time to manifest new experiences in your physical reality. There is always a lag time between internal transformation and external manifestation. During this transition period, you may find yourself dealing with old problems while simultaneously trying to maintain your new consciousness. You may be practicing abundance consciousness while still facing financial challenges. You may be embodying love and peace while still dealing with difficult relationships. You may be connecting with your purpose while still feeling stuck in unfulfilling work. This is not a sign that the process is not working. This is simply the natural progression of change. Your external world is reorganizing itself to match your new internal reality, but this reorganization takes time. Your job during this phase is to maintain your new frequency, regardless of what your current circumstances suggest is possible. This requires tremendous faith and discipline. It requires you to think from your desired future rather than from your current situation. It requires you to feel the emotions of your fulfilled dreams rather than the emotions generated by your present challenges. It requires you to act as the person you are becoming rather than the person you have been. But as you persist in this practice, as you continue to choose your new identity, moment by moment, day by day, something magical begins to happen. The old patterns begin to lose their grip on your consciousness. The new patterns begin to feel more natural and automatic. Your external world begins to shift in surprising and delightful ways. Opportunities that seemed impossible suddenly become available. People who can help you achieve your goals appear unexpectedly in your life. Resources you need manifest exactly when you need them. Doors that were previously closed begin to open effortlessly. This is the universe responding to your new frequency and reorganizing itself to support your new reality. The fifth thing you must understand is that this process never truly ends. Transformation is not a destination you arrive at once and then remain forever. Transformation is a way of life, a continuous process of growth, expansion, and evolution. Each level of consciousness you achieve will eventually call you to grow beyond it into an even greater expression of your potential. This means that you will face the death and rebirth process multiple times throughout your life, each time at a deeper level and with greater stakes. But each time you navigate this process successfully, you become more skilled at releasing what no longer serves you and embracing what wants to emerge. You become more comfortable with uncertainty, more trusting of the process, and more confident in your ability to create whatever reality you choose. You also develop what I call transformation mastery, which is the ability to consciously initiate and navigate change rather than waiting for circumstances to force change upon you. You learn to sense when you are ready for the next level of growth and to actively create the conditions that support your evolution. You become the conscious director of your own development rather than a passive victim of random change. The ultimate goal of the Death and Rebirth Protocol is not just to help you manifest your current desires, but to help you become the kind of person who can manifest any desire, overcome any challenge, and create any reality you choose. It is to help you remember that you are not limited by your current circumstances, your past experiences, or even your present understanding of what is possible. You are a creative force of infinite potential, temporarily focused through a human personality for the purpose of growth, expansion, and the joy of conscious creation. Your true nature is limitless, and any limitation you experience is simply a temporary forgetting of this truth. The death and rebirth process helps you remember who you really are and claim the power that has always been yours. As you continue through this phase of your transformation, remember that every moment of discomfort is a moment of growth. Every challenge you face is making you stronger and more capable. Every old pattern you release is creating space for something better to emerge. Every step you take toward your new identity is a step toward the freedom, fulfillment, and joy that are your natural birthright. Trust the process, even when you cannot see the entire path ahead. Trust your vision, even when current circumstances suggest it is impossible. Trust yourself, even when others doubt your choices. Trust the universe, even when everything seems to be falling apart. What appears to be destruction is actually reconstruction. What seems like endings are actually beginnings. What feels like death is actually birth. You are not becoming someone new. You are becoming who you have always been beneath all the layers of conditioning and limitation. You are returning to your authentic self, your essential nature, your unlimited potential. This is not just personal transformation. This is spiritual awakening. This is remembering your true identity as a conscious creator and claiming your rightful place as a co-creator with the infinite intelligence of the universe. You have journeyed through the death of your old identity and are now being reborn into a more authentic, powerful version of yourself. The chaos and confusion of the transformation phase is beginning to settle, and you are starting to recognize the new person you are becoming. But this is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning of a new phase that is equally important and potentially even more challenging: the integration and mastery phase. Integration is the process of embodying your new consciousness so completely that it becomes your natural way of being rather than something you have to consciously remember to practice. Mastery is the ability to maintain your elevated state and create your desired reality consistently, regardless of external circumstances or internal resistance. Together, they represent the culmination of your transformation and the beginning of your life as a conscious creator. Many people who successfully navigate the death and rebirth phase fail to complete the integration phase. They have powerful experiences, profound insights, and temporary transformations, but they do not develop the discipline and consistency required to make these changes permanent. They return to their old patterns because the new patterns have not yet become automatic, and the old patterns are still more familiar and comfortable. But you are different. You have come this far because you possess something that most people lack: the commitment to see this process through to completion. You understand that true transformation is not about having peak experiences or temporary insights. True transformation is about fundamentally rewiring your nervous system, reprogramming your subconscious mind, and reorganizing your entire life around your new identity and expanded capabilities. The integration process begins with what I call conscious consistency. This means practicing your new way of being every single day, regardless of how you feel, what is happening in your external world, or whether you can see immediate results. It means choosing your desired thoughts, emotions, and behaviors consistently until they become so automatic that you no longer have to think about them. Most people are inconsistent in their practice because they are still operating from their old identity, which believes that change should be effortless and immediate. They expect to practice their new patterns for a few days or weeks and then have them become permanent without continued effort. But this is not how transformation works at the neurological level. Your brain creates new neural pathways every time you practice a new thought or behavior, but these pathways are initially weak and unstable. They must be strengthened through repetition before they can compete with the old pathways that have been reinforced for years or decades. The old pathways never completely disappear, which is why you can slip back into old patterns if you become careless or complacent. The key to successful integration is understanding that you are literally rewiring your brain and that this process requires time, patience, and consistency. You are not just changing your mind about something. You are changing the physical structure of your nervous system. You are creating new default programs in your subconscious mind. You are establishing new energetic patterns in your biofield. This level of change cannot be rushed or forced. It must be allowed to unfold naturally through consistent, gentle, persistent practice. Every day you choose your new patterns over your old ones. You strengthen the new neural pathways and weaken the old ones. Every time you maintain your elevated frequency despite challenging circumstances, you prove to yourself and the universe that your transformation is real and permanent. The second aspect of integration is embodied authenticity. This means allowing your new consciousness to express itself naturally through your personality, your relationships, your work, and your lifestyle choices. It means becoming congruent between your inner reality and your outer expression, between who you know yourself to be and how you show up in the world. Many people try to compartmentalize their spiritual growth, keeping it separate from their daily life and practical responsibilities. They practice their consciousness work in private, but continue to operate from old patterns in their relationships, their career, and their interactions with the world. This creates internal conflict and prevents full integration from occurring. True integration requires you to bring your new consciousness into every area of your life. It requires you to speak your truth even when it is uncomfortable, to set boundaries even when others resist, to make choices that honor your authentic self even when they disappoint others. It requires you to live from your values rather than from your fears, from your vision rather than from your circumstances. This can be challenging because it often means making significant changes in your external life to match your internal transformation. You may need to change careers, end relationships, move to a new location, or alter your lifestyle in ways that feel risky or uncertain. But these external changes are not obstacles to your growth. They are expressions of your growth. When you are truly integrated, your external life becomes a natural reflection of your internal reality. You do not have to force or struggle to create change in your circumstances, because your circumstances automatically organize themselves around your new frequency. You become like a magnet that effortlessly attracts experiences, opportunities, and relationships that match your consciousness. The third aspect of integration is energetic sovereignty. This means taking complete responsibility for your energetic state and refusing to allow external circumstances or other people to determine your frequency. It means developing such mastery over your consciousness that you can maintain your elevated state regardless of what is happening around you. Most people are energetic victims, unconsciously absorbing the emotions and frequencies of their environment and the people they interact with. They feel good when things are going well externally and feel bad when facing challenges or negativity. Their emotional state is determined by their circumstances rather than by their conscious choice. But as an integrated master, you develop the ability to generate your desired state from within rather than depending on external validation or positive circumstances. You become like the sun, radiating your own light rather than reflecting the light of others. You become a source of positive energy rather than a drain on the energy of others. This does not mean becoming cold or disconnected from others. It means becoming so centered in your own power and so clear about your own frequency that you can interact with anyone in any situation without losing your equilibrium. You can feel compassion for others without absorbing their pain. You can offer support without taking on their problems. You can love without becoming codependent. Energetic sovereignty also means learning to discern between your own thoughts and emotions and those that belong to others or to the collective consciousness. Sensitive people often pick up on the mental and emotional states of those around them without realizing it, which can create confusion about their own authentic feelings and desires. As you develop energetic sovereignty, you learn to create clear boundaries between your energy field and the energy fields of others. You learn to consciously choose what energy you allow into your consciousness and what energy you deflect or transform. You become the master of your own energetic space rather than the victim of external influences. The fourth aspect of integration is universal alignment. This means understanding and working with the fundamental laws that govern creation and manifestation. These laws are not arbitrary rules imposed by an external authority. They are the intelligent principles through which consciousness expresses itself as physical reality. The law of vibration states that everything in existence is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and intentions all have specific vibrational signatures that attract corresponding experiences. When you consistently maintain the vibration of what you want to create, you inevitably attract the people, opportunities, and circumstances necessary for its manifestation. The law of correspondence states that your external reality is always a perfect reflection of your internal reality. As above, so below. As within, so without. When you want to change something in your external world, you must first change the corresponding pattern in your internal world. This is why trying to change circumstances without changing consciousness is ultimately futile. The law of rhythm states that everything in nature moves in cycles and patterns. There are times for action and times for rest, times for expansion and times for contraction, times for manifestation and times for integration. Understanding these natural rhythms allows you to work with the flow of life rather than against it. The law of polarity states that everything has an opposite, and these opposites are actually different aspects of the same thing. Joy and sorrow, success and failure, love and fear are all part of the spectrum of human experience. Mastery involves learning to work with polarity consciously rather than being unconsciously controlled by it. The law of cause and effect states that every action has a corresponding reaction. Every thought has a consequence. Every choice creates a result. This is not about punishment or reward, but about the natural functioning of a universe based on perfect justice and balance. When you understand this law, you take full responsibility for your experiences and use your creative power consciously. The law of gender states that creation requires both masculine and feminine principles. The masculine principle provides direction, focus, and action. The feminine principle provides receptivity, intuition, and allowing. Balanced creation requires the integration of both principles within yourself, regardless of your physical gender. Working with these universal laws rather than against them accelerates your manifestation ability and ensures that your creations are in harmony with the greater good. When you understand these laws, you stop trying to force outcomes and start allowing them to unfold naturally through aligned intention and action. The fifth aspect of integration is service-based creation. As you master your own consciousness and manifestation abilities, you naturally begin to use your power in service of something greater than your personal desires. You understand that true fulfillment comes not from accumulating experiences, possessions, or achievements for yourself, but from contributing to the evolution and well-being of all life. This does not mean sacrificing your own needs or desires for the sake of others. It means expanding your identity to include the welfare of the collective while maintaining healthy boundaries and self-care. It means using your gifts and abilities to create positive change in the world while enjoying abundance and fulfillment in your personal life. Service-based creation is actually more powerful than ego-based creation because it aligns you with the evolutionary impulse of the universe itself. When your personal desires are in harmony with the greater good, you have the full support of cosmic intelligence behind your manifestations. When you create from love rather than fear, from abundance rather than scarcity, from unity rather than separation, you tap into unlimited creative potential. This is the ultimate integration, becoming a conscious co-creator with the universe, using your individual consciousness to serve the awakening of collective consciousness. This is where personal transformation becomes planetary transformation, where individual mastery becomes universal healing, where your journey of self-discovery becomes a gift to all humanity. As you complete the integration phase and step into true mastery, you will find that your life becomes a living demonstration of what is possible when human consciousness is aligned with its true nature and unlimited potential. You become an inspiration to others, not through preaching or teaching, but simply through being who you authentically are. People will be drawn to the peace, joy, and power that you naturally radiate. They will want to understand how you create such beautiful experiences and maintain such positive energy regardless of external circumstances. Without trying to convert or convince anyone, you become a catalyst for their own awakening and transformation. This is the real purpose of your journey, not just to create a better life for yourself, but to become a beacon of possibility for all those who are ready to remember their own unlimited potential. Your transformation gives others permission to transform. Your mastery shows others what is possible. Your service demonstrates the true power of conscious creation. You have traveled through the complete journey of transformation. You have awakened to your true nature, understood the science of consciousness, mastered your frequency, navigated the death and rebirth of your identity, and integrated your new way of being into every aspect of your life. But now, as you stand at the threshold of true mastery, you must understand the most profound truth of all. Your journey of transformation is not ending. It is evolving into something infinitely greater. What you have experienced so far is just the beginning of what is possible when human consciousness remembers its unlimited nature and learns to operate from its full potential. You have been preparing yourself not just for personal success and fulfillment, but for participation in the greatest transformation in human history, the evolution of consciousness itself. We are living in unprecedented times. Never before has humanity possessed the knowledge, technology, and global connectivity necessary for a species-wide awakening. Never before have so many individuals been simultaneously questioning old paradigms and seeking new ways of being. Never before has the earth itself been calling so urgently for a new relationship with the beings who inhabit it. You are not just transforming your individual life. You are part of a global awakening that is transforming the entire human species. Your consciousness is connected to every other consciousness on the planet through the unified field of infinite intelligence. When you raise your frequency, you raise the frequency of the whole. When you transcend your limitations, you make it easier for others to transcend theirs. When you embody your highest potential, you anchor that potential in the collective consciousness. This is why your transformation matters beyond your personal desires and goals. This is why you were called to this knowledge at this particular time in history. This is why you have been given the tools and understanding necessary to become a master of consciousness. You are here to be part of the solution to humanity's greatest challenges and to help birth a new era of peace, abundance, and harmony on Earth. But to fully step into this role, you must understand what it means to live from infinite potential rather than from limited possibility. Most people, even those who have achieved significant personal transformation, still operate from the assumption that they are separate individuals trying to get what they want from an external universe. But the ultimate truth is that you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe expressing itself as a unique individual consciousness. This means that the creative power you have been learning to use is not your personal power. It is universal power flowing through you and as you. The intelligence that guides your transformation is not your individual intelligence. It is cosmic intelligence expressing itself through your awareness. The love that motivates your service is not your personal love. It is the love that moves the stars and grows the flowers, expressing itself through your heart. When you truly understand this, everything changes. You stop trying to use your power to get what you want from life and start allowing life to express its infinite creativity through you. You stop seeing yourself as a separate being, trying to manifest your desires, and start recognizing yourself as the universe, manifesting its highest possibilities through individual expression. This shift from personal manifestation to universal expression is the hallmark of true mastery. It represents the difference between someone who has learned to use consciousness techniques to improve their circumstances and someone who has become a clear channel for cosmic creativity. Both are valuable, but only the latter represents the full flowering of human potential. Living from infinite potential means releasing all attachment to specific outcomes while maintaining clear intention about the quality of experience you want to create. It means caring deeply about your vision while holding it lightly enough that the universe can deliver something even better than what you imagined. It means being completely committed to your growth and service while remaining completely open to how that might express itself. This requires a level of trust and surrender that most people find terrifying because it means releasing the illusion of control that the ego uses to feel safe. But when you truly surrender to the intelligence of the universe, you discover that you gain far more than you lose. You gain access to resources, opportunities, and capabilities that your individual mind could never have conceived or created. You also gain what I call effortless effectiveness. When you are aligned with universal intelligence and allowing it to work through you, your actions become incredibly powerful and efficient. You accomplish more with less effort because you are no longer working against the natural flow of life. You are working with it, guided by an intelligence that sees the perfect timing, the perfect approach, and the perfect outcome for every situation. This does not mean becoming passive or waiting for things to happen to you. It means becoming so attuned to the subtle guidance of your intuition that you always know when to act, how to act, and when to wait. It means developing such sensitivity to energy and timing that you can sense the perfect moment for any action or decision. People who operate from this level of mastery often appear to be incredibly lucky or blessed because everything seems to work out for them effortlessly. Doors open that others cannot even see. Opportunities appear exactly when they are needed. The right people show up at the right time with the right resources or information. But this is not luck. This is the natural result of alignment with the creative intelligence of the universe. Another aspect of living from infinite potential is what I call loving detachment. This means caring deeply about the welfare of all beings while remaining emotionally detached from specific outcomes. It means offering your gifts and service wholeheartedly while accepting whatever response you receive without taking it personally. This balanced state allows you to be incredibly effective in your service without burning out or becoming discouraged by temporary setbacks or apparent failures. You understand that your job is to plant seeds of consciousness and transformation, not to control whether and how they grow. You understand that your role is to hold space for possibility, not to force anyone to step into that possibility. Loving detachment also applies to your relationship with your own journey and achievements. You celebrate your successes without becoming attached to them. You learn from your mistakes without becoming identified with them. You appreciate your current level of mastery while remaining open to continuous growth and evolution. This quality of non-attachment is essential for maintaining your effectiveness as you take on greater levels of responsibility and influence. The more powerful you become, the more important it is to remain humble and open to learning. The more successful you become, the more crucial it is to remember that your success is a gift to be shared rather than an achievement to be hoarded. As you embody these principles of infinite potential, you begin to experience what I call dimensional transcendence. This means that your consciousness is no longer limited to the three-dimensional, linear, time-bound perspective that most humans take for granted. You begin to perceive reality from multiple dimensions simultaneously, understanding that every situation contains infinite possibilities and that every moment is a doorway to transformation. You develop the ability to see patterns and connections that are invisible to conventional perception. You understand the deeper meaning and purpose behind events that appear random or chaotic to others. You can sense the evolutionary potential hidden within every challenge and the growth opportunity concealed within every crisis. This expanded awareness allows you to navigate complex situations with wisdom and grace because you are not reacting to surface appearances but responding to deeper truths. You can see the highest potential in every person and situation, and your very presence helps to activate that potential. You become a catalyst for positive change wherever you go, not through trying to fix or change anything, but simply through being who you authentically are. Perhaps most importantly, living from infinite potential means embracing what I call eternal becoming. This is the understanding that consciousness is always evolving, always expanding, always discovering new possibilities for expression and experience. There is no final destination, no ultimate achievement, no permanent state of perfection to be reached and maintained forever. Instead, there is an eternal dance of growth, discovery, learning, and service that continues infinitely. Each level of mastery you achieve opens new horizons of possibility. Each challenge you overcome reveals new challenges that call forth even greater capabilities. Each question you answer generates new questions that invite deeper exploration. This perspective transforms your entire relationship with life from a problem to be solved to an adventure to be experienced. You stop trying to reach some imaginary finish line and start enjoying the journey itself. You stop postponing your happiness until you achieve your goals and start finding joy in the process of continuous becoming. You also understand that your individual evolution is part of a much larger evolutionary process that includes all of life on Earth and throughout the cosmos. Your transformation contributes to the transformation of the whole, and the transformation of the whole supports your individual growth. You are simultaneously a unique expression of consciousness and an integral part of the universal awakening. As we conclude this journey together, I want you to understand that reading these words and understanding these concepts intellectually is just the beginning. The real transformation happens through consistent application of these principles in your daily life, through continuous practice of the protocols I have shared with you, and through unwavering commitment to your own growth and evolution. Every morning when you wake up, you have the opportunity to choose who you want to be that day. You can choose to be the limited version of yourself that reacts to circumstances and accepts whatever life gives you. Or you can choose to be the unlimited version of yourself that creates circumstances and consciously designs the quality of your experience. Every interaction you have with another person is an opportunity to practice embodying your highest consciousness. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to demonstrate your mastery. Every decision you make is an opportunity to align with your vision and values rather than your fears and limitations. The simple secret that can change your life starting right now is this. You already have everything you need to create the life you truly desire. You have the power, the intelligence, the creativity, and the love necessary to transform any circumstance and manifest any dream. The only question is whether you will claim this power and use it consciously, consistently, and in service of the highest good for all. Your time is now. Your moment is here. Your opportunity is present. The universe is waiting for you to step fully into your power and begin creating the magnificent life that has always been your birthright. Stop waiting for permission, for the perfect moment, for more knowledge, or for better circumstances. Start now, exactly where you are, with exactly what you have. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Trust the intelligence of the universe that has guided you to this moment and this understanding. You are ready, you are capable, you are worthy, you are loved beyond measure, and you are supported by forces you cannot even imagine. Your transformation is not just for you. It is for everyone whose life you will touch, everyone who will be inspired by your example, everyone who will benefit from the gifts you are here to share. Your journey from limitation to freedom, from fear to love, from struggle to flow, is a sacred journey that honors the highest potential of human consciousness. Welcome to your new life. Welcome to your unlimited potential. Welcome to the adventure of conscious creation. The simple secret is yours. Use it wisely, use it joyfully, and use it in service of love. The universe is ready to support your every dream. Are you ready to claim your power and begin?